Hi. So let me tell you the story of a young boy. Now this boy, he was an innovator. He grew up in Quebec and had kind of too much with the snow and just how much it affected everyday life, but especially transportation. So one day, at the age of 15, he took his father's irreparable Model T Ford and made the world's first snow vehicle. He would later go on to start selling these vehicles quite successfully and found one of Canada's largest companies. That boy is Joseph Armand Bombardier. Now, the Bombardier story serves as an inspiration for young and mature minds alike. It's a story of true innovation, creativity, and dedication. But the reason I like the Bombardier story over those of other entrepreneurs is because it shows that youth can accomplish great things. Today's youth are tomorrow's leaders, but youth are underrepresented in the entrepreneurial force, only 9% out of the 13% of youth in Ontario. So if entrepreneurship is so important for the economy and innovation, why don't more youth get involved in their own entrepreneurial endeavors? So I believe that the main reason for this is a lack of education, and especially its appeal to youth. In school, we're taught to study hard to get good grades, to get a good job, rather than create our own. We're also told that starting a business can require a lot of time and resources, further discouraging us. All this, yet I believe that through my business, I've developed some of the most important things I've learned in or out of school. Skills such as communication, organization, creativity, innovation, responsibility, the list goes on and on. But equally as important are those experiences, those interactions, those life lessons that I've been taught. I know many people that struggle with simply writing an email just because they haven't had that taste of reality from the professional world. So how can we prepare us youth, tomorrow's leaders, for the future without the necessary experience we need to succeed? Entrepreneurship is commonly perceived as risky, and the chances of a business failing in the first year are actually very high. But failure is inevitable. But we should see failure as Thomas Edison did when he was trying to invent the light bulb. He saw every failure as, one step closer to perfecting his design. And that's exactly why I encourage all youth to start now. Because now you have the time. You'll likely have support from your parents, and you don't have that many responsibilities. But most importantly, you have the time to try and to experiment. You have the time to see what worked, what didn't, and what you can improve on next time. That experience and knowledge is crucial. Just ask any established entrepreneur. But though I believe that the underrepresentation of youth stems from the lack of education, there's also a common misconception that entrepreneurship is only for adults, and it's far out of reach from most of our grasps. But haven't we proven this wrong through many stories such as Bombardier's and those of many other successful young entrepreneurs, showing that some of the best ideas, some of the most creative ideas, the most innovative ideas come from young people? Still, there's that misconception that it's too difficult for us and far out of reach. Quite recently, a friend of mine, he came up to me and said, Alex, I really want to start a business, but I don't really know how. He wanted to make and sell longboards. I asked him if he had a customer, and he said yes. And then I told him, well, then he has a business. He wasn't really satisfied with the answer, but the truth is that entrepreneurship isn't as difficult as we often make it seem to be. And because there's no education out there to tell us how to do it, we're often discouraged from pursuing such an endeavor. That is why entrepreneurship education in high schools and in extracurriculars is a must. But still, education is only one part of the solution. When I started my first company and started selling plants 2 summers ago, I had a very difficult time. I did not really know what I was doing. That's why there needs to be more awareness, more promotion to organizations and initiatives that help young entrepreneurs, help them with financial and mentoring assistance. It'll be through these outreach initiatives that people really understand the role that young entrepreneurs play in our communities and in our economy. And that is why youth entrepreneurship awareness at a conference such as this is so important. And that's why I want to share my story with all of you, especially all youth, because you will be tomorrow's leaders. So, I'll finish with a message, a little word of advice to all you young, aspiring, someday entrepreneurs. Think big, start small, start now, and go for it, because you'll never know until you try. Thank you.